Hello, I'm Jan Shervinsky, and this is Military Mind. Armed conflicts, defense and security, land, sea and air. We've got you covered. So the Ukrainian Air Force has reportedly destroyed 26 out of 48 attack drones launched by Russia during an overnight strike. Another 22 were locationally lost, but several others struck civilian infrastructure. At least 4 people were killed and 6 wounded in Kharkiv city when a Russian guided bomb shattered much of the Dershprom building. The landmark had previously been placed on the tentative list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. In several attacks, 2 people were injured and a residential building caught fire in the Ukrainian capital Kiev, according to local officials. Further south, 1 person was killed and 11 wounded after a Russian missile struck a 3-story residential building in Kryvyi Rih. Meanwhile, Russian air defenses destroyed 7 Ukrainian drones overnight, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. The drones reportedly targeted the regions of Belgorod, Bryansk and Kursk, all bordering Ukraine. Also, 2 people were injured after an explosion in the ethanol plants in Voronezh, according to the regional governor. An attack on the plant sparked a fire and damaged 2 industrial enterprises. In Chechnya, a strike was reported on the Russian Special Forces University in Gudermes. This is the first drone attack on targets in Chechnya during the Russia-Ukraine war. On the front line, intense clashes persist in the Pokrovsk sector, where Russian forces claim to have seized control of Tsukurnine, a village in the Pokrovsk district. Ukrainian military sources report that Russian forces could advance on the nearby town of Selidove within days if their momentum continues. The Kurakhove sector is believed to be the next primary target for Russian troops as they seek to push Ukrainian forces back, positioning for a potential offensive on Pokrovsk. Let's move on now to the Middle East. After the Israeli strike on the Gaza town of Beit Lahia, 60 people were killed. There are 17 others still missing beneath the rubble of the residential building that was hit, according to a local official. Israel has increased its military operations in the north of Gaza over the last month as it tries to stop Hamas from regrouping after more than a year of fighting. The Ukrainian strike drone company recently targeted a black hussar from the Russian military intelligence. So here's the situation. 2 Russian soldiers were moving behind their lines when Ukrainian drones spotted and struck them. The first soldier was hit and then fled, abandoning his rather well-dressed commander, likely an officer, given his radio, high-end watch, and clean appearance. Unlike, typical Russian infantry. This hussar, identified as a probable platoon leader, received a shrapnel injury to the leg and applied a tourniquet. Ukrainian drones taunted him, tracking his movements, and later delivering a final strike, leaving him to bleed. Soon after that, Ukrainian forces from the 1st Battalion delivered the conclusive blow. moving on to the final video. And this one shows an assault fighter from the pro-Ukrainian Russian Volunteer Corps who fires 2 RPO-A Shmel rocket launchers at Russian positions. Now, the footage itself reveals fallen Russian soldiers left behind, now destined to, well, decay on foreign soil. That is the sad truth of it, right? This intense scene unfolded at the Vovchansk aggregate plant in September 2024, and it underscores the heavy toll of the ongoing conflict and the determination of Ukrainian forces to push back enemy advances.
Дальше не получится. Здесь ноги.
So there you have it. I like to call these guys the real Russian opposition because, they don't negotiate. They don't say, yeah, well, the Crimea situation is debatable. No, they actually fight against Putin's forces on Ukraine's side, on the side of justice. Way to go. This is actually the way to oppose Putin. Unfortunately, it seems it is the only viable one right now because Putin has effectively eliminated the real opposition in his country. But there are still brave men willing to fight on the right side of things. And with this, we conclude this episode of Military Mind. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates.